Dear children, we are going to start a new topic, that is Kirchhoff's law. So today we are going to see Kirchhoff's first law or current law or junction law. Junction law. Here is a word junction. In our daily life at railway station, we always heard it is a junction. What is the meaning here? Junction, some trains are coming on the platform and some trains are going from the platform. That's why that is called junction. Here we are going to specify Kirchhoff's first law or current law or junction law. For that I am taking here a point, say, at which the current is coming. Say I1 current is coming here, I2 current is going from here, similarly I3 current is coming from here, similarly I4 current is coming from here, and I5 current is going out from here. Here is a point called junction. So what we are observing here, I1 is coming, I2 is going, I3 is coming, I4 is coming, and I5 is coming. The current which is coming here will be taking as a positive, and the current which is going from the junction will be take negative. So I can write here I1 minus I2 plus I3 plus I4 minus I5, that is equal to 0. So what is that? What is the Kirchhoff's first law here? I can explain here in an electric network, the algebraic sum of current meeting at a junction is always 0. So I can say here summation of I is equal to 0. So I can say here I1 plus I3 plus I4 is equal to I2 plus I5. So I can say what is Kirchhoff's first law? Write down the sum of the current flowing towards the junction is equal to the sum of the current leaving the junction. Is it clear? Both are equal here. जितना करंट आ रहा है उतना ही करंट जा रहा है. So the first law is in accordance with the conservation of charge. Conservation of charge. So this is the Kirchhoff's current law or a junction law. Now Kirchhoff's second law. Here Kirchhoff's second law we are going to describe here. Now Kirchhoff's second law, or I can say it is a voltage law, or I can say loop law. First law I can say that is KCL, Kirchhoff's current law. Here I can say KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law. Now, what is that? Kirchhoff's second law, that we can say Kirchhoff voltage law or Kirchhoff loop law. I can say here the algebraic sum of all the potential drop and EMF along any closed path in a network is 0. That is, I can say summation of V is equal to 0. Total sum of EMF is equal to 0. The second law is in accordance with the conservation of energy. Conservation of energy. First law we have seen, that is a conservation of charge, it is a conservation of energy. For that, I am drawing a figure and explain Kirchhoff's second law. The figure is something like this. Here is a battery, here is a resistance, here is another resistance. Now say we are taking another cell here. So this is the battery of EMF, say E1, internal resistance R1, here is the resistance R2, here is the battery E2 and the resistance is R3. This I can say A, B, C, D, E and F. Suppose here the current I1 is flowing from this battery. Suppose here the current I2 is flowing. And here suppose I3 current is flowing. So what I can say here, I am taking loop. Here you can say A, B, E, F, A. It is called one loop, in which you can say current is flowing like this. So in a loop A, B, E, F, A. If we are going in the direction of current, we will take positive sign. If we are going against the direction of current, we will take negative sign. Our Kirchhoff's second law is sum of the EMF is equal to 0. So what I can write here, in this loop the EMF is E1. That is equal to E1, say that A, B, E, F, A. We are going in this direction. Here is the current I1 and resistance is R1. So I1, R1. Then we are going in the same direction. That's why I3 into R2. I3 into R2. This is our equation number 1. This equation we can find with the help of our Ohm's law also. V is equal to IR. That formula we have taken here. So this is our equation number 1. Similarly, we can take another loop A, B, C, D, E, F, A. A, B, C, D, E, F, A. It is called second loop. In this second loop, I can say here are the two batteries. We have seen here in our earlier article when the positive pole of the battery is connected to the positive pole of the battery, I can write here E1 minus E2. E1 minus E2. Here we are going from A, B, C, D, E, F, A. So we are going in the direction of current, that is I1, R1. Now coming here, then we are going this. But the current is flowing here in opposite direction. That's why we are taking here a minus sign. That is equal to I2 into R3. This is our equation number 2. So with the help of these two equations, or we can take one more equation. So first we will make such type of equation and solve the problems easily with the help of Kirchhoff's law. This is called Kirchhoff's second law. So I can say, dear children, that is summation of E is equal to summation of IR. Is it clear? So you can write here with the help of this equation number say 3. The algebraic sum of the product of current and resistance in a closed loop is equal to the sum of the EMF applied to the circuit. Sum of the EMF applied to the circuit. This is called Kirchhoff's second law. So with the help of these two laws, we can solve any problems. Is that clear? Now, we'll do later on some problems related to the Kirchhoff's law. Now, dear children, we are going to see another article, that is what is Wheatstone principle. Wheatstone principle. For that, I am taking here 4 resistance and join in this manner. One resistance here say P, another resistance say here is Q, third resistance here is say R, and fourth resistance here is say S. So we are having here four resistance P, Q, R, S. They are going to be connected with a battery, and here is a key. This is connection here like this. Suppose the current I is flowing here. Here is the battery, and here is key K1. Here is a battery say of EMF E. This is a point A, B, C and D. In between of B and D, we are joined here in a galvanometer and another key, say K2. At a point A, current I comes, it divides into two parts. One is along AB and another is along AD. Suppose along AB the current I1 is flowing, along AD तो I current is here, I1 इधर चला गया, इधर बच जाएगा I minus I1. Here I1 current comes, again here it is a two parts. Suppose here the current comes IG. Then here the current will come I1 minus IG. This current came here. This current came here. So what is going on? Along DC. Along DC, I can say I minus I1 यहाँ से आ रहा है, IG यहाँ से आ रहा है, हो गया I minus I1 plus IG. Then at a point C, I1 minus IG इधर से आ रहा है, I minus I1 plus IG इधर से आ रहा है, I1 से I1 cancel, IG से IG cancel. The total current entering from junction A will be leaving from the junction C, that is I. Is it clear? So draw this diagram, dear children. Draw. Now what is going on here? It is an arrangement of four resistance P, Q, R, S divided by Wheatstone, which is used to measure an unknown resistance. This device is used to measure unknown resistance. What is the principle of Wheatstone bridge? What is the principle of Wheatstone bridge? So you can write here, if the galvanometer shows no deflection, then the bridge is called balanced Wheatstone bridge, and at that time the balanced Wheatstone bridge, the condition is P by Q is equal to R by S. We are going to prove this. When the current is zero in a galvanometer, is that clear? So now apply Kirchhoff's second law with this loop A, B, D, A. A, B, D, A. According to the Kirchhoff's second law, I1 into P, we are going in that direction, plus Ig into G, the galvanometer resistance. But here the current is in opposite direction, so I can write minus I minus I1 into R, that is equal to 0. This is along this loop A, B, D, A. Similarly for the loop B, C, D, B. Similarly for the loop B, C, D, B. Write down the equation I1 minus Ig into Q, B, C, D, B. Our loop is that minus I minus I1 plus Ig into S, B, C, D, B. Then again current is in reverse direction. Minus Ig into G, that is equal to 0. Suppose if the galvanometer current is 0, so I can say when the bridge is balanced, galvanometer current is 0, Ig is equal to 0. Or I can say when the value of resistance is so adjusted that the galvanometer shows no deflection, so Ig comes out to be 0. So I can write here I1P is equal to I minus I1 into R. Similarly here I1 into Q minus को उधर ले लीजिए, that is equal to I minus I1 into S. Divide these two equations. So we are getting here P by Q is equal to R by S. This is the condition of Wheatstone bridge. Is that clear? Yes, now dear children, we are going to see another part of this chapter, that is meter bridge or slide wire bridge. Generally in market or in our laboratory, this type of a wooden board is available, on which a wire 1 meter length wire is connected, something like this, and on the side of this we are having a 1 meter scale. Say it is from 0 to 100, and from year to year it is from 0 to 100. This type of arrangement of meter bridge, that is also called a slide wire bridge. So dear children, it is a device based on a Wheatstone bridge. It is a device based on Wheatstone bridge. It consists of 1 meter long, straight and uniform वायर से ए बी. ये जो पूरा वायर है बच्चों, एक ही वायर है. इट्स एरिया ऑफ क्रॉस सेक्शन इज सेम. इज दैट क्लियर? रिमेंबर, दिस वायर इज मेड अप ऑफ आइदर मैंगनीन और कॉन्स्टेंटिन. मैंगनीन और कॉन्स्टेंटिन, because they have a low temperature coefficient and large resistivity. Due to that, it will not affect during the time of practicals. Now, I am going to draw a circuit diagram for meter bridge experiment. So I can say here the diagram for the meter bridge I am going to draw. See that? So in a meter bridge experiment, now here is a wire, say AC is connected. Here I am going to draw a diagram first, then I will explain it. These are the metallic strips or aluminum strips, and it is being connected through a battery key. It is something like this. Here is a point A, here is a point B, here is a point C, and here is a point D. Here I am having a resistance box RB. Here it is an unknown resistance S. In between C and D. Here is a point D through which I am connected. Here in a galvanometer through a jockey at a point say B. Here is a key, here is a battery. Now draw the diagram. Here is a 1 meter long wire AC of uniform area of cross section. From the point A, I am connected here in a battery. A positive terminal, the negative terminal is connected to key, and then another terminal is connected to C. Here I am having in between A and B is a resistance box, and it is here an unknown resistance which we are going to find out the value of this resistance. Draw the diagram. Now, first close the key K and adjust the known resistance box from a suitable resistance, say R. Take out some resistance from this resistance box R. Adjust the position of jockey on the wire, say at B, where the galvanometer shows no deflection. or we can say zero deflection, because it depends on Wheatstone bridge principle, where the galvanometer shows zero deflection or null deflection. So at a point B we are getting null deflection, not this length AB. Suppose this length AB is equal to L. So remaining length BC, total length is 100 centimeter. So this length would be 100 minus L. At a point B we are getting zero deflection. So I can say AB is equal to L and BC is equal to 100 minus L. Now, suppose the resistance in between A and B is P. So P is diagonally proportional to L. जितना लेंथ होगा उतना ही उसका रेजिस्टेंस होगा. मान लिया यहां से यहां तक का रेजिस्टेंस P है. Similarly, suppose here to here the resistance is Q. So I can say Q is proportional to 100 minus L. When Wheatstone bridge is balanced, so I know very well P by Q is equal to R by S. So what is going on here? L divided by 100 minus L is equal to R by S. The value of R we know with the help of this resistance box. So I can find out here S is equal to R into 100 minus L divided by L. This is the value of unknown resistance. You can find out easily. Then what we have to do, if I want to find out the resistivity of this material or specific resistance, I have a formula. Rho is equal to S into A divided by L. A is the area of cross section, that is pi r square, divided by length. So I can say the total length, the resistance you can find out from here. This length L is the length of this wire. Here it is the length L is the length of the wire of which we are going to find out the resistance. Is that clear? Remember that. Suppose this L is here, so we can take here a capital L. So no doubt at all. L is the length of the wire. So with the help of this formula or with the help of this diagram, we can easily find out the resistivity of that material. Now, is it clear? Yes. Now we'll take another part of this chapter, that is potentiometer. Potentiometer. Dear children, in our CBSE syllabus also we have two experiments of potentiometer. We will do later on. Now first I want to explain here what is potentiometer. It is a device used to measure unknown potential difference. Unknown potential difference accurately. Children, we can measure the potential difference with the help of voltmeter also, but we cannot measure accurate potential difference with the help of that. That's why we are using this device, potentiometer. Now first I want to explain here what is the construction of potentiometer. In our laboratory we are having here such type of a wooden board, and on that wooden board I have 2 points, say A and B. 2 screws are there and a long 10-meter wire of uniform area of cross section, same wire is there, are arranged in this manner. 1 meter here, here is 2 meter, here is 3, here is 4, here is 5, here is 6, here is 7, here is 8, here is 9, and here is 10. This 10-meter wire arranged in such a manner on a 1 meter scale from here to here. A scale is arranged on this wooden board. It is from 0 to 100, and here also it scale from 0 to 100. Once we are going from year to year, we will use this scale. So for the wire first, 1, 3rd, 5th, 7th and 9th, we use this scale 0 to 100. But when we are coming in this manner, so we will use this scale 0 to 100 for second wire, 4th wire, 6th wire, 8th wire and 10th wire. So this is the construction of a potentiometer. The potentiometer consists of a long uniform wire generally made up of manganese. Again we are using the wire of manganese stressed on a wooden board. Its ends are connected to the binding screws, say A and B, and a meter scale is fixed. You can say this is a meter scale. Here is a meter scale is fixed on the board parallel to the length of the wire. This device is also based on the principle of null deflection method. Null deflection method. Is it clear? That is why we can say while measuring EMF, it does not draw any current from the source of driving EMF. So while measuring unknown potential difference, we can say the resistance of the potentiometer wire becomes infinite. This is the construction of potentiometer. Is it clear? So it is a better instrument than voltmeter. Now I am going to explain here what is the principle of it. The principle of potentiometer we are going to explain here. For that I am drawing a figure. This is a figure here. Here is a battery. Here is an ammeter. Here is a rheostat. RH stands for rheostat. Here is a potentiometer. AB. This potentiometer is connected like this. Here we are using a voltmeter, and here it is connected through a jockey. Now this point A, this is B, this is a battery, say EP. A current is flowing here is say I. So draw this diagram. Here is an ammeter for measuring the current. The total length of the potentiometer wire is L. At a point C where we are getting the deflection in the galvanometer is 0. So the length from A to the point C is say L. Now what is the principle of potentiometer? The potential drop across any section, say from year to year. The potential drop across any section of wire of uniform cross section is proportional to the length of that section. That is, suppose the potential drop in between A and C is V, it is directly proportional to L. So V is proportional to L. If a constant current flows through it, then V is proportional to L. If I is the current in potentiometer wire AB of uniform cross sectional area A, ये जो वायर यहाँ बच्चों लगा हुआ है इसका यूनिफॉर्म क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया इज A, the total length of the wire is L, and specific resistance of this wire is rho. A is the area of cross section, L is the total length of the wire, rho is the specific resistance. The unknown potential according to Ohm's law, the unknown potential we can find out. V is equal to IR. I can write here I into rho. The balancing length here is L divided by A. It is our equation number 1. This is unknown potential. From here we can find out. So V is equal to this one, and non-potential difference in between A and B is, that is with the help of this battery, EP. That is equal to I into rho. Total length is L divided by A. This is our equation number 2. This is unknown and this is known. at balancing point where the galvanometer shows deflection is 0, so this unknown potential must be equal to the known potential. जो unknown potential यहाँ आ रहा है, that must be equal to the known potential. तो both the equations को बराबर रखिएगा तो you will get it here. V by L is equal to EP by L. V by L that is equal to I into rho by A. Similarly, EP by L that is I into rho by A. So we can write here V by L is equal to EP by capital L. Now, so dear children, I can say V is equal to EP by L into L. This EP by L we can take as a constant XL. So V is equal to XL. X here is EP by L. It is called potential gradient. And this is the principle of potentiometer. The potential is directly proportional to the length of that section. X, it is called potential gradient. That is the fall of potential per unit length of the potentiometer. The unit of the potential gradient here is volt per meter. Is it clear? So this is all about today. We'll continue later on the applications of potentiometer. Okay.